What's good, guys? It's Michael, and today we're going to be talking about music.
Get ready.
Thus far, there's been quite a bit of research done on music's effect on exercise, specifically on athletic performance. And what I found is that there's three basic principles that have followed through and have been shown over and over again. And the first one is the one we're going to start off with, and that's disassociation. So let me explain what that means. That means distraction from fatigue or exertion. Your attention is selective. Anybody who's taken psychology courses knows that you can't give 100% attention to one thing and 100% attention to the other thing at the same exact time. And this is the reason why texting and driving is illegal in a lot of US states. It's because you're putting a lot of drivers at risk when you're texting because you're not paying attention to the road. So the concept behind this, to connect the dots if you haven't already, is that if you're tuned into your music, you're listening to your music, you're not paying attention to how hard you're breathing, how much you're sweating, how hard you're working. So that's the first principle of music, is disassociation and distraction from fatigue and exertion. The second principle in relation to music and exercise is mood alteration. It provides extra motivation for people to work out harder and in some cases even work out longer. And we could see this in prehistoric times, and we can also see this in folk cultures that exist still today. Let's say you're going to war. A tribe's going to war, right? They have a ceremony sometimes before, sometimes after, sometimes both. But what are they doing at that ceremony? They're dancing, right? And that's because there's a psychological effect on the mind for music to induce movement. There's very few occasions where you're going to find yourself listening to music and not wanting to dance to it and not wanting to move to it. And that's because music induces movement. It's been around forever and it still exists today. And of course you're going to be able to find exceptions. If you're on an elevator and you're listening to elevator music, chances are you're standing still. But that's a different topic because you're socially conditioned to stand still. So we're not going to get into that. But remember this, that music can really alter your mood. And it's not necessarily about the lyrics, but about the tempo, which we're going to get into next. Music provides motivation, and motivation of movement. The third principle that we're going to be talking about is synchronization, and specifically with the tempo and the beat of the music. The vast majority of people like to listen to faster tempo, upbeat music, right? It's what gets them going, it's what makes them motivated. There's quite a bit of people that like to listen to country music, but there's even a smaller percentage that like to listen to country music while working out, and there's a reason for this. Country music tends to be slower, and if it's slower, you might not be as efficient with your time, you might not be as jolly, as upbeat, and as motivated to train. And I'm by no means bashing country music. I like some forms of country music. But I'm giving you a real life example of how this is applicable, right? This channel is all about giving you guys knowledge. But what's the purpose of having knowledge if it's not applicable? Applicable, right? I'm giving you knowledge so you can apply it to your own lives. And that's really what this whole channel is about. It's about learning more and then putting it into action. All things considered, this may be one of the larger contributions why music is now banned from the Olympics during the Olympic events. And it's because music is so powerful mentally and physically. And there's even an Olympic marathon runner that, before it was banned, went on to say that he strided to the music of the song to win the gold. And that just shows you how powerful these three principles are. Now, there is one major complication or contradiction to these three principles, and that is with high intensity or peak performance. And there's been shown to be little to no correlation once you get to really high intensity. And it still is unclear why this may be, but overall, the trend is a strong positive correlation between music and physical performance. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If we could get it to 10 likes, again, that would be incredible. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you'd like to look further into this, again, it's in the description box down below with all the links I used. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Have a great day.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire.